What's up, kings and queens? It's your boy Dan from Daft Previews, and I'm here to take you through another comprehensive NBA player prop preview. If it's your first time checking out the channel, I'll let you know I do this every single night. I share my screen, we go through outline, we preview the game, we talk about props, lines, matchups, tell you what I like, tell you what I don't, and I do all this to give you all the information that you need to make the best bets possible. Now, I will let you know that I am recording this 2 hours later than I normally would. So this probably will be a quicker video so I can get it out to you. Let's quickly recap the day that was. 3-2 on all the straight bets. Took Obi Toppin points and rebounds. Cash with ease. He was a monster. Brunson points plus assists. Cash easy. He was a monster. And we took Nick Batum rebounds and he cashed that easy. Because fuck, when I'm right, I am right. But when am I wrong? Boy, am I wrong. We took Miles McBride over his points prop. Didn't get close to it. Dante DiVincenzo was on fire. McBride didn't get much runtime and he shot poorly. And we also took Tobias Harris over 3.5 points in the first quarter. Not only did he finish the quarter with 0, he finished the game with 0. So there's a bit of Tobias Harris for you. But look, let's jump into it. I think I wasn't meaning to plug this, but I feel like this is the perfect opportunity. I plugged it in the last video, so I'm going to plug it right now. Theplayerpropshop.com. You got to check that out. And the reason why is these guys do all the research for you. You don't even have to watch a video like this. You probably don't have to go digging through your tools. They do research. They give their picks. They give a detailed write-up. And times like this, I had other things to do tonight. If I wasn't committed to putting out content, I would just be looking at that and taking my picks from them. So I encourage you guys to check that out. You do get 1 week free. I also have an affiliate link in the video description below, so check that out. But if you want to see what I think, let's jump into the preview. Let's go. So we're kicking it off with the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Orlando Magic. Now, Jarrett Allen is a game time decision here for Cleveland. I think he's got bruised ribs or something like that. And Gary Harris for the Orlando Magic is a game time decision. So Jarrett Allen for the Cavaliers, just in case I said Magic. I think I did, but those two players are game time decisions. This is game 6. Cleveland are up 3-2, so must-win game here for Orlando at home. They are 4-point favorites, and they were absolutely dominant at home. I think this game is going to be a little bit closer, but Orlando does get the win. But before we start previewing the props, let's do a quick let's run our eyes quickly over the box score from the last game to see what popped out to us. So looking at the Orlando Magic, Franz 14-6-5. He went under. I did bet his under after such a great game. Banchero was an absolute beast. 39 points, 8 boards, 4 assists. What else stands out? Wendell Carter Jr. had 11 boards, which is pretty good. Jalen Suggs, 13 points. I think his line was at 12.5. So nothing major going on there. Mo Wagner, 8 points off the bench. I think he was just under or just over his line. And Markelle Fultz, Jonathan Isaac, Joe Ingles. So nothing crazy really happening here in this game. So probably Banchero and Wendell Carter Jr., probably the biggest call-outs to make from that last one. Now, looking at the Cleveland Cavaliers, we saw Max Strus, 16-6-5, covered all of his lines. We saw Evan Mobley, 14-13 rebounds. So that rebound effort from him was huge. Obviously, no Jarrett Allen, so Evan Mobley had to be big. Donovan Mitchell, 28 points. He covered his line. And Darius Garland finally broke out, 23 points in that game, 9-16. So pretty decent effort from him. And we saw decent minutes for Marcus Morris Sr. off the bench. Had 12 points in 25 minutes off the bench there. So, yeah, rolling into this game, I think one of my hesitant play thoughts at the moment is if there's no Jarrett Allen, I wouldn't feel comfortable fading Evan Mobley. That's where my mind went first. But if there's no Jarrett Allen, that might be a difficult play to make. So, anyway, let's jump in outline. Let's see what we can find. We're going to start off with first. Let's go with Jarrett Allen, actually. Let's start here, given he is a game time decision. We'll preview him, just in case he does play. At least you're under all the information that you need. So Jarrett Allen's points line is at 14.5. He's cashed this in 4 consecutive games against the Orlando Magic. He missed the last game due to this injury. So if you even consider betting on Jarrett Allen, probably do some research into his status. I don't know if there'll be a minutes restriction or anything like that. So he has covered it quite well, but off the back of an injury, I wouldn't feel too confident betting on him. Rebound-wise, his line is at 10.5. He's cashed this in 2 out of the 4 games. The games in all gone under. So, yeah, I'm not loving that. I bet on his rebounds the last game, though, and then he got scratched. So, but I didn't know his injury was this severe. So, yeah, I personally wouldn't bet on Jarrett Allen, even if he does play, because I don't know too much. but just wanted to give you guys a heads up. If you're man enough to do it, go ahead. Now, Outlier, as you know, Outlier is my favorite tool for researching player props. If you want to try it out, I've got a 7-day free trial in the video link below. And one reason why I like Outlier is that it defaults the players to the highest hit rate. So for Evan Mobley, who we're about to preview next, Outlier is telling us that points plus assists under 18.5. It's got the best hit rate over his last 10 games. And he's hit the under in 8 of his last 10 games. In all 4 games against the Orlando Magic in this series, Evan Mobley's gone under 18.5 points plus assists. So it has been tight, 18 and 18 in the first 2, 11, 17, and then 18 once again. So I wouldn't suggest backing the under, but this is one reason why I like Outlier. Just send you the best plays just like that. Now, his points line is 14.5, 2 out of 5 games. He covered in the first 2. He's gone under in 3 straight. Having a look at these last 5 games, what do we see for Evan Mobley? 32 minutes a night. He's taking 11.6 shot attempts per game. So even without Jared Allen, he didn't see an increase in his shot attempts. He was taking 3-pointers, but it looks like he's given up on that over his last 2, and he's not getting to the free throw line. So I personally don't love the points prop here for Evan Mobley. His volume is, I would say, predictable, but his volume is also quite low. So you'd be relying on a pretty high shot percentage in order for Evan Mobley to cash, and I'm personally not feeling it. His rebound line is at 10.5, though. That's the highest it's been all series. 13 in the last game, but also there's question marks on Jared Allen. So he's covered this in 2 out of the 5 games. Rebound chances, 16.6 rebound chances. Small sample size, but this was the one game without Jared Allen. He had 23 rebound chances. So, yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable betting Evan Mobley on the road to get a lot of rebounds. Looking at his assists, 1.5 is the line. He has done quite well in his last 2, 3 and 4 assists in his last 2 games, 3 or 5 games this series. He had 7 potential assists in that last game, which is pretty wild. But that's a very small sample size. 1 game without Jared Allen, and Jared Allen might even play in this game, so you might not be able to put too much stock into that last one from Evan Mobley. So I'm not liking any of that. Let's get into Donovan Mitchell. Now, what's D Mitch cooking up? So he's had some stinkers playing in Orlando so far in this series. Let me show you. His points props at 25.5. He's covered this in 2 of the 5 games. The first game and the most recent game. Both of those games played in Cleveland. Now, on the road in Orlando, he scored 13 and 18 points. Struggled offensively. Minutes-wise, 35 a night. Looking at his shot attempts, 21, 22, 16, 14, and 23. So not only those road games in Orlando did he score a lot less points, he took a lot less shots, and he shot a lower percentage. So all round, terrible for Donovan Mitchell. Given the importance of this game for the Orlando Magic, the lack of presence or Jared Allen's status, I think there'll be a lot of attention on Donovan Mitchell to slow him down. I'd personally lean to the under in his points prop. That's just a feeling. I've got no numbers or anything to back that up, but that's just what my gut tells me. I don't love any of the plays I've seen so far enough to put them down on my spreadsheet. So let's have a look at his assist prop. So the line's at 4.5. 2 out of the 5 games he's gone over. The 2 games that he did go over were the games played in Orlando. Now, looking at his potential assists, 7.8 as an average. Didn't necessarily get a lot more potential assists in these games at Orlando. He just had a higher rate of people scoring after he passed. So they just made buckets. So I wouldn't take the over for Donovan Mitchell here. I think the under could potentially be a good look. The under, you're going to get plus money, plus 120, which is very interesting. So he's only getting 8 potential assists on average over the 5-game series. He needs to get 5 assists in order to cash this line in a game where I think Orlando's defense should be the best it's been all series. Their best should be coming in this game. It's do or die, win or go home for the Magic. And yeah, I think I'm feeling a bit brave here. I think an under and Donovan Mitchell assist could be a wave. The potential assist numbers are not high, but we shall see. As you know, I'll research these a little bit further. I'll put them in the pinned comment when I'm finally done. So please don't ask me, where's your tips, where's the picks, where's the pinned comment, because I'm working on it. Now, rebounds, 4.5 the line. He's covered this in 3 out of 5 games. The 2 games in Orlando, 5 and 1. Rebound chances all over the place. 8.2 rebound chances is an average, but he's had games with low as 3 and as high as 13. So I will be betting on Donovan Mitchell rebounds. I might toy around with it if there's no Jared Allen, but even then, I still don't love it. This is his 3-pointers. So the line is at 2.5 for Donovan Mitchell. He's only cashed this once in the 5-game series so far against the Magic. He's taking on average 7 attempts per game. So the volume is there. The shot percentage is not. The 2 games in Orlando, 1 from 6 and 1 from 4. So, look, very good defensively, Orlando. They're giving Donovan Mitchell some problems, I'll tell you that. But yeah, so from Donovan Mitchell, probably the under in his assists is something I can play with, and maybe just a potential under in his PRA altogether. Going to take note for that. Yeah, I might even look at his under in his PRA. Let's have a look at DG, Darius Garland. So he did have a strong game in that last one. Finally had a breakout game, strong offensively. We've been waiting for that for a while. Yeah, in the 5-game series so far, obviously he's cashed this line of 17.5 once. Prior to that 23-point outburst, he had gone under in 4 straight. What was different? Well, his minutes were higher, 38.9. That's 6 more minutes than he had been seeing. He took 16 shots, which is 5 more shots than he had been taking. He shot 56% from the field, which is the highest he shot in any game this series. And he also shot 60% from deep. That's also the highest he shot in a game. So that could be an outlier, or it could be the new norm for Darius Garland. That I'm not sure of. Therefore, I'd probably lean to the under, but I'm not suggesting anybody bet it. That's just where my mind goes. I wouldn't take the over for Darius Garland on the road when he's been ass all series. That one game could just be one game, right? Now look at his assist prop. 5.5 is the line. Minus 135 to the over. He's covered in 3 out of 5 games. Potential assist, he's getting 11 potential assists per game. So he needs 6 with 11 potential assists. I think this line is just about right, to be honest. So I'm not overly keen on playing the over or the under here for Darius Garland. Having a quick look at his rebound prop, 3.5 plus money. He's cashed in 1 out of 5, 3 rebounds in 4 consecutive games, and he had 5 in the last. So what's crazy is he had 10 rebound chances in that last game. Prior to that, 5, 5, 5, and 4. Is that because of Jared Allen? Is that because he played more minutes? If he's going to get 10 rebound chances, I take the over every week. I just can't guarantee those rebound chances occur. So it might be a play to look at if Jared Allen is out. Darius Garland rebounds could be a good play. All right, last up, we've got Max Strus. Now, I did put a bet on Max Strus in that last game. Cash his rebounds prop at plus money. Let's see what they give us today. So his points line's at 10.5. So far in the series, he's cashed this only once, and that was in that very last game of 16 points. Prior to that, struggle streak. Minutes, 32 minutes a night. He did take 13 shots in that last game, and that has to be because there was no Jared Allen, right? He did get more opportunities, but again, it comes down to how many minutes do you project Max Strus for and how many shots do you think he puts up. In a game where the Cavs are underdogs, I'm not overly keen on Max Strus points props, but let's have a look at the assist prop. 3.5, 2 out of his last 5, 5 assists in the last game. Did have 8 potential assists though, which isn't too bad. But again, Orlando on the road. Strus has gone under in both games on the road so far, so I'm not loving that. Rebounds. This was the bet that I took in the last game. Took him at 5.5. Cashed in with 6. It was plus money. Now the line's down to 4.5, despite him getting 6. And why is that? Well, he only got 1 rebound in each of the road games so far. 1 rebound. His rebound chances were really low, so it's good. It's definitely a home and away thing for Max Strus. He's on the road. I can't help but lean to the under here. But if Jared Allen doesn't play, that might give Max Strus more rebound opportunities. So I'm not loving what I'm seeing here for Max Strus either. This Jared Allen game time decision really does throw some things out. And look, I got burnt on a couple of plays today. Didn't know Dame was going to play, and that cooked me. So if I think there's a risk, I'm not taking any bets, but I'm here to preview the plays for you. Let's take a look at these Magics. Paolo Banchero. So outlier doing what it does, and it's pre-populating this. Banchero over 1.5 rebounds in the first quarter, 90% hit rate, but odds are minus 180. So let's not fuck around with that. His points line, 24.5. Had a massive game in that last one, 39 points. Couldn't get them the win, but man, he was looking nice. He was making a lot of difficult shots. Those middies were on. But he's cashed this line in 2 out of 5 games. The 2 home games, 31 and then 9 points. Franz Wagner went off in one of those games. One thing to keep in mind is his minutes were low in both of the home games because the Magic absolutely blew the socks off the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, I don't think that happens again. This game will be closer. Banchero will get more minutes and more opportunities. He's taking on average 20 shot attempts per game so far in this series. And I think where that line set, it feels like it's just about right for me. He should take at least 20 shots in this game. Field goal percentage has been really good so far this series for the most part. So I couldn't take the under of Banchero. I think the line is just about right. If I had to force something out, I'd say, yeah, take the points. But I am forcing shit right now. Looking at his assists, 4.5's the line, 3 out of the 5 games. He did cash both home games, 5 assists in both of those games. Looking at his potential assists, they are quite low though. So he's shooting the ball a lot. The assists are there, but the potential assists are very low. So I don't like that. You could potentially look at the under 4.5. That is plus money as well. But at home, Magic expected to win. I guess you would assume that these assists might come a little bit easier for Banchero. So I'm not too keen on that. And lastly, let's look at his rebound prop. 7.5 boards. He's cashed this in 2 out of the 5 games this series. At home, 14 rebounds in one game, 4 rebounds the next. Looking at his rebound chances, they are trending down, which is not good. But yeah, it's somewhat inconsistent. So I didn't like betting Banchero this season, and I don't like betting him in the playoffs. So I think he still has a strong game. I just couldn't tell you in what direction we should bet on just based off these numbers. We got Wendell Jr. So he's got his starting spot back. So let's take a look at it. His points line is at 8.5. So far in this series, he's cashed this 1 out of 5 games. You can see looking at his minutes that they're on the increase. They're on the up. Playing starter minutes once again. So there is more opportunity. So I wouldn't look at the 5 games and say he sucks. 33 minutes in that last game. He should see about at least 30 minutes in this one. What did he do? He only scored 7 points, shot 3 from 6. So field goal percentages are not there. So I'm not overly keen to take that. The other one you probably consider is his rebound prop, 7.5. 1 out of the 5 games. That last game, he did have 11 rebounds, 21 rebound chances, which is crazy. 21 rebound chances. If he can get that again, of course, you would take the over 7.5 at plus money, right? But we know he's going to get more minutes. That's a fact. I think one thing that might be worth looking at, let's look at him on the season where he plays at least 30 minutes a night. So when Wendell Carter plays 30 minutes a night so far this year, 11 games covering this rebound line, in 9 of them, averaging 9.1 rebounds per game. So that's quite interesting. If we check the head-to-head stats, this is 3 games where Wendell Carter Jr. played at least 30 minutes against the Cleveland Cavaliers. One of those games was the last one where he had 11. Prior to that, 12. And then back in 2022, he had 8. So if Wendell's getting the rebounds, if he's getting the minutes, he's going to be getting the rebound chances. And if there's a chance that Jared Allen is not good to go, that probably works in our favor too. So I don't mind this. I'm going to look into that. Wendell Carter Jr. over 7.5 boards at plus money. Take money and go. I want to have a quick look at his assist prop. Sometimes he gets cheeky with it. All right. So looking at his last 5 games, has not. So rebounds for Wendell could be a play that I take. We then have Franz Wagner. Let's take a look at Franz to see what the hell's cooking. All right. So points, 19.5. So far this series, he's covered this line once. One of those games was a home game where he scored 34 points. So what's he doing? He's playing 36 minutes a night. He's taking on average 14.5 shots. At home, he shot 50% and 76%, which is good. It just comes down to who's going to score here. So in this game where he only took 12 shots, Banchero went off for 30-something points. This game where he took 17 shots and scored 34 points, Banchero scored fuck all points. So yeah, it's about determining which one of those boys is about to pop off, because good chance the other one is going to go under. I can't tell you who's going to do that, but what it means is I'm not betting Franz points props. Looking at his assist prop, 4.5 is the line. 2 out of his 5 games. At home, 8 and 4 assists. Looking at his potential assists, they're not bad. 11.6 potential assists as an average. And he's getting 4.6. So we need 5 assists in this game. Should be a low-scoring game. I think the line set for this is under 200. Yeah, it's 199. So somewhat low total. So I'm not loving that from Franz. What I have been somewhat interested in playing is his rebound prop, but that's actually moved up. So it was at 5.5 in previous games. It's up to 6.5 now, but it is plus money. He's cashing 3 out of 5. He's averaging 7.4 rebounds per game. The 2 home games, 5 rebounds and 13 rebounds. Looking at his rebound chances, 12.4 rebound chances on average. I don't necessarily love that if we need him to get 7 boards. I'd like to see at least 13 to 14, but I guess there's one game here which you could say is an outlier because all the others are at 13. So you can probably project his rebound chances to 13. At 13, you need 7. I think the line, honestly, is just about right. But what this tells me is this could be a good play for one of our BAPs. You know what I'm saying? Franz for 5 rebounds. Money. Happen in all 5 games. That could be a look that I take. So we'll see if I like it enough legs to put a BAP together, firstly. But Franz, not loving what he's doing. And then lastly, we've got Jalen Suggs. So Jalen Suggs, points props at 13.5. In his last 5 games, he's covered this once. 1 of 5 games. The one game he did cover was a home game for the Orlando Magic. He's playing 31.4 minutes a night. He got almost 39 minutes in the last game. Looking at his field goal attempts, they're not high. 10.6 is an average. His shot percentage is all over the place. His 3-point percentage is pretty bad, 24%. So yeah, I'm not loving the Jalen Suggs points prop right now. Assists, the line's at 3.5. You can get that for plus money. He's cashed in 2 out of 5 games, but he has gone under in 3 consecutive games. And if you take a look at it, his potential assists over the last 3 games have been terrible, almost non-existent. It's the Banchero and Franz Wagner show. So look, I can't help but lean to the under here on his assists. It is minus 155, but look at his potential assists are 3, 4, and 1 in the last 3 games. If that's what you can expect to see in this next one, it's impossible for him to get 4 assists. So I think if you're using something like prize picks or chalkboard or something like that, this Jalen Suggs play could be a good one where you're just looking at the overs and the unders. And then lastly, let's have a look at his rebound prop. 3.5. He's cashed this in 4 out of the 5 games, so that's not too bad. He's averaging 4.2 rebounds per game. Looking at his rebound chances, averaging 7.8. He had 13 rebound chances in that last game, but he did play 38 minutes. So the Orlando Magic really shortened the rotation by the looks of it. So the rebound prop there for Suggs, not too bad. But yeah, I don't love it enough to take it. Pumping the break once again, real quick for y'all. One, to kind of make an announcement, but also ask a question. So a lot of these picks that I do make are very specific to sports betting, and I have been doing some research to help you guys over there in the US to understand the clear differences between sports betting and daily fantasy. Because for a long time, I thought fantasy was more like you run your team, you have a salary cap. That's what I thought the fantasy was. But you have fantasy apps such as Prize Picks, Underdog, Chalkboard, all those types of things. And then you've got sports betting apps like your DraftKings, FanDuel, MGM, all that type of bullshit. So here in Australia, we only have the sports betting side of things. But what I have noticed, and I've known it for quite some time, but I haven't said anything, but a lot of the fantasy lines are a lot softer in comparison to sports betting. The trap with those fantasy ones is that you have to do a parlay. So that's the trade-off. But at the same time, I think you can get some real bangers in that. So I'm looking to explore maybe doing some affiliate work and partnerships with one of those fantasy apps. But I want to know from you guys, the audience, do you even use them? Because if none of you guys are going to use them, I'm not going to create content or even get picks to help you guys. So please let me know in the comment section below. Do you use any of those fantasy apps? And if you don't, would you use them if I started to create content specifically based for that? Now let's jump into this next game. Clippers versus Mavs. Let's go. Right, so it's the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Dallas Mavericks in Dallas. 8-point favorites in this game. Terrence Mann is a game-time decision. Kawhi Leonard is still out. Do or die, and he can't make it. Should be a good game. Good one. I can't wait to watch this one. Firstly, let's do a quick recap on the box score of the last game, and let's see what really stands out. So we know the Mavericks blew them out. 30-point win. They were crazy on the road. They went mad. So looking at the Mavs, that's where we saw some overperformance, I would say. We had Derek Jones go off, 12 points covering his line. Jay Washington sucked. Gafford, decent, covered his lines. Kyrie played extremely well, but statistically didn't rack up that many stats, but he did have the highest plus minus out of all of the Dallas Mavericks. Only had 14.6 assists and 4 boards. Luka had 35 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds. He played with the flu. Derek Lively, 12 points, 7 boards off the bench. Maxi Kleber, 15 points, 5 3-pointers made. And we had Jaden Hardy. In 5 minutes played, he scored 14 points. I doubt we're going to have lines for Jaden Hardy. But if you bet live, he might be someone to look at here because if the Mavs are 8-point favorites and they blow them out again, that's who you want to get on. He's pound for pound an absolute beast in limited time. Looking at the Clippers, though, we had Paul George. He sucked offensively, 15 points. He did have 11 rebounds, though, and his line for that game was 5.5. And I had it as a lean. I was like, I don't love it. I'm not too sure. So I didn't take it, and he smashed it. So we had Zubac, 15 points. He covered his points line again, only 6 rebounds. I didn't like his rebound prop again. His line for that moved to 14.5, though. I think 13.5 maybe. So it has been moving upwards, but he cashed. James Harden, he was ass, 2 for 12. He had 7 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. We had Westbrook, he had 5 rebounds. His rebound line was 4. That was another one of my leans. I think I remember saying I don't want to bet on both Westbrook and PG's rebound prop. Eventually, I didn't bet on either of them, and they both got a cash. We had Norman Powell off the bench, 14 points. That was a pick that I liked. I think Player Prop Shop is the one that got me onto that one. So that one cashed. Bones Highland in 7 minutes scored 11 points too. So, well, let's jump back into Outlier. Let's see what type of props are available. I am predicting a Mavs win here. This Clippers starting to look a little bit lifeless, but they do have some good players. So let's see what happens. Paul George, let's start here. PG. So we're without Kawhi Leonard once again. Mavs are up 3-2, must-win game for the Clippers. What do we got? PG, his points line, 24.5, despite the slow game in the last one where he scored 15. It is plus money at 24.5. Now, he's only cashed this in 1 out of 5 games. He's averaging 19.8 points per game so far in this series. His minutes, he should get 40 minutes in an elimination unless there's a blowout. Field goal attempts, not as high as you would like them to be if you're going to bet on someone to score 25 points. 3-pointers, he's shooting 41%, which is not bad, but a lot of that is, I guess, lifted by one strong game where he shot 7 for 10. And free throws can get to the free throw line. I personally would lean to the under here for Paul George. My only risk and concern with it is that this is a must-win game for the Clippers. PG going to be firing it. Well, I don't know if he's going to fire it up, but he should be, right? Facing elimination, you got to go hard or you're going to go home. So I'd lean to the under. If this was just a regular playoff game, I'd lean to the under. But given the stakes involved, I'd probably be a little bit cautious. You know, Devin Booker, for example, was shit that whole Minnesota series. Game on the line, series on the line, big scoring effort, still lost. Same thing. Looking at his assist prop though, 4.5. He's cashed this in 2 out of 5 games. 4.5 is plus money though. Looking at his potential assists, not great. 7.4 potential assists as an average. I just want to have a look at the games without Kawhi Leonard. So the 3 games without Kawhi Leonard in this series, 3, 8, and 4 assists for Paul George. Potential assists, 7, 9, and 6. So the potential assists are not very high for PG. So I'd probably into the under on that too, despite the hit rate. And I think it comes down to who is he passing to. I think there's probably a lot of Zubac or someone easy because it's gone quite well. This is rebound line. It's still at 5.5. So I do like it still. If I liked it last time. Problem is minus 142 now. The odds are not great, but again, this might be something that you can get on chalkboard or prize picks or whatever it is. I think that's a great play to take. Paul George rebounds. You can see his rebound chances pretty strong. 11.4 is an average, but in his last 3, 11, 14, and 16, and you only need 6 boards. So don't mind the Paul George rebounds. I'm going to take note of it, research it, because I'm going to do some line shopping anyway. I might be able to get better odds than minus 142. But yeah, not loving Paul George too much, I got to tell you. Let's move on to the beard, James Harden. And he was terrible in that last game. So, James Harden points. What are we looking at here? 19.5. I feel like his line doesn't move. 19.5, he's covered in 4 out of the 5 games. You know, you could looking at the games, that 7-point game was the outlier. He's been great in all the others. Minutes were down because it was a blowout. Shot attempts would have been down. It's actually not too far down, but 1 from 7 from 3. That's the worst shooting game he's had in the playoffs so far, and he didn't get to the free throw line. So, yeah, I'd probably lean to the over for James Harden, to be honest. Like, he can create his own shot, get to the line, yada, yada, yada. PG, if there's good defense there, could be somewhat limited, but I'm not brave enough to bet on James Harden and go points prop. I am a little bit biased, though. I wouldn't say I'm a Mavs fan. I'm a Kyrie fan, so that's what I'm leaning towards. But yeah, still a little bit biased. Now, his assist prop, 7.5. The over is minus 140. He's cashed in 2 out of the 5 games. Potential assists are very consistent with 12. with 12 potential assists, he's averaging 7 assists per game. So you need 8 assists in order to get this. Man, I might be tempted here to take the under 7.5 assists based on what we're seeing on the potentials. For plus money, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I think my only concern is he got 7 assists and 11 potential assists in that last game, and it was a blowout. He only played 32 minutes. This game might be closer, and he could play 40. So I guess I've talked myself out of it already. I'm not taking the assist prop. Now let's look at his rebound prop. 5.5. 2 out of his last 5 games. That's yuck. And his rebound chances up and down like a yo-yo. So yeah, not loving anything on James Harden. I wonder what Zubac's line is. Better not be 14.5. Where's Zoo? Zoo. Here he is. All right. So Zoo, did you know that Zoo has gotten a steal in every game so far in this playoffs? That's an interesting one. What was I looking for? His points prop. All right, let's just jump into Zoo and then we'll find the points prop. So he's been really good, but he's been especially good in like first quarters and first halves. So that might be a look that we take. So his line is at 13.5. It hasn't moved despite that last game. I guess he is on the road. His road games in Dallas, 19 and 13 points. So if you could get him for 12.5 somewhere, it gives you a 100% hit rate so far in the series. But take a look at these 5 games. Minutes slowly trending down. Blowout, so he didn't play much in that last one. But the Mavs also had a lot of Maxi time. And when Maxi's on there, he's only on the perimeter. So it kind of makes Zoo a little bit lifeless. That's one risk. And I think I called that out in the last video. He still cashed his line. But look at this. He shot 88% from the field in the last game. 7 from 8. He had to shoot 88% from the field in order to cover this line, which is why I do not love it. His free throws not getting to the line much at all. What I would be interested in is seeing what the first quarter prop looks like. Okay. So he's cashed this in 3 out of the 5 games. His line's at 4.5. It's a plus 130 play. In the second game, he only played 2.6 minutes. I'm assuming that's foul trouble. So I'm going to give him a pass. So there was 4 games where he played his normal 8 to 10 minutes that he would in the first quarter, and he cashed this line 3 times. I don't mind this for Zubac. His first quarter points prop, 4.5. Now, I know that Tobias Harris fucked us over with the last first quarter prop, but I've seen this happen. It makes sense to me. Most teams try to feed their bigs nice and early, get their touches going. So Zoo in the first quarter, I might be able to get around it. Now his rebound prop is at 9.5. I like the under already. He's gone under in 3 straight games now. Minutes, they are trending down, but his rebound chances are down too, right? And this is a lot of Dallas's offense is getting better, but also it's the Maxi Kleber effect. If Maxi is on there, it's going to be difficult as hell for Zubac to get boards, which is why I like Paul George to get rebounds, right? So I think these plays are somewhat correlated. I wouldn't even mind putting this in a parlay to put Zubac and Paul George, get the correlation happening. You know what I'm saying? So rebound chances down, minutes trending down, and Maxi Kleber. That's what I'm saying there for Zubac. All right. Who else have we got for the Clippers? Terrence Mann's a game time decision. I'm not doing that. Mason Plumlee. I'm not touching him. Amir Coffey. I wonder what he's paying for like 1 3-pointer or something. He always seems to hit one when I'm watching. So his points line is at 4.5. 1 out of 5 games, so not great. 3-point market. What do we have? 2 out of the 5 games. So yeah, he doesn't make a lot. I was blind. All right, let's get to these Mavs then, shall we? All right, we'll start with my man Luka. Had a cold in the last game. I'm sure he's probably feeling better, but let's take a look. So his PRA is being called out here. 100% hit rate. He's gone under 53.5 PRA in all 5 games so far this series. Closeout game at home. His games at home have been the lower performing ones, I'd say, but yeah, PRA, it's a big one. Yeah, I'd probably lean to the under there, but not too much confidence. Let's break it down. His points prop 33.5. He's cashed in 1 of the 5 games. It was the last game where he scored 35. Minutes wise, Luke is going to get his minutes. Luke is going to get his shots. 25.4 attempts per game. 3-pointers taking over 10 per game. Still shooting poorly. 26% from deep so far in this series. Honestly, the game where he puts it together and shoots 30 to 40% from deep, that's Luka hitting 40. That's all I'm saying. I'm waiting for that game to come, and it could be in this one. A 40-point Luka outing. Someone changing the LA Clippers Wikipedia to have Luka Doncic as the grandfather and daddy of the Clippers. Could happen, right? But Yeah, look, I'd lean to the over based on volume alone, but you're really relying on field goal percentage. Um, I really expected him to go off in that last game, and I think he was going to, but took a seat early. So yeah, I'd lean to the over there for Luca, but I don't love it. Assists 9.5. He's cashed this in 2 of 5 games, 2 consecutive games against the Clippers. Now, that last game, he did have 20 potential assists, which is pretty crazy. If he's going to get 20 potential assists, I'll take that bet every single time. I wonder, well, it is a home game. In the home game so far, only 15 and 14 potential assists, though. The Mavs did drop one of those games too. So, yeah, I don't know if I can entertain the assist prop. Rebounds, that's at 9.5. Of course it is. I bet I bet points and rebounds because I assumed his rebounds were going to be good, and they weren't. 3 out of the 5 games, though. That last game, he only had 10 rebound chances, which is the lowest he's had all series. So, based on these trends, rebounds are going down. So the under for Luca rebounds, that could be a play. You'd get that for plus money, plus 105. But I'd need more than just stats to give me a reason why I should take this. So I'll look into it further, see if I can find anything. But it does feel unlikely. Here's your Luca stuff. If you're interested in his 3-point line, it's at 3.5. He's hit that in 2 out of the 5 games. Shots are there, but the percentages are woeful. So, yeah, I'm not man enough to take any Luka Doncic bets right now. Let's go to my man, Kyrie Irving. Played great. This is one bet that I did add to a parlay, actually. The parlay didn't win, but it cashed. The bet itself cashed, and I purely took it on hit rate. So I wasn't going to share this one with everyone and say this is why you should bet this, but what do I know about Kyrie Irving? He's missed a fourth quarter. I think he's got the highest proportion of the fourth quarter than anybody, like based off his total points. Slow starter. They get Luka going early. So Kyrie, he's gone under 5.5 points in 5 straight games in this series. And his minutes, 9.8 minutes per game. Slight uplift as of late. Luka Doncic, injuries, sicknesses, and stuff like that. But Kyrie, not really pressing it, pushing it hard, getting others involved. So I'm sharing this, and I do like the under. I just wonder how long can I keep playing this same bet and for it to cash. But minus 108 odds, great. 100% hit rate so far in this series, great. I'll double check his field goal attempts and stuff like that because he's taking 5 to 6. I probably wouldn't take it, but I know he's not. So that's one thing. Another correlation to this, though, could be an over in Kyrie assists because over 1.5 assists is plus 140. Now, he's hit this in 3 out of the 5 games. So definitely capable. We know the minutes are there. What I'm going to do is I'll probably check the potential assists for Kyrie Irving in the first quarter. We'll see what's happening there. His total assists, though, 4.5. He's covered this in 3 straight games, 3 out of the 5. Looking at his potential assists, what have we seen? It hasn't been a big increase in the last 3 games. The only difference here in the last 3 games, and you can see it in the total points. So Dallas failed to score 100 points in the first 2 games. Since then, gone over 100 in every game. If anything, their points have increased in every game from 101 to 111 to 123. So Kyrie's still getting the same volume of potential assists, teammates just making shots. So yeah, look at minus 145. I don't like it, but again, chalkboard, prize picks, underdog. You guys, you can take the over here on Kyrie, over 4.5 assists. For everyone else who's sports betting, don't do it. The odds are terrible. Looking at his rebounds now, 4.5. This is cash in 3 out of 5 games, averaging 5.6 boards, rebound chances. Yeah, very up and down for Kyrie. So I would be man enough to pay the Kyrie rebounds prop. The first quarter stuff, that could get interesting. So I'll dive into that, see what I can find. Who else do we have? We've got Derek Jones Jr. Been playing quite well. Mainly want to check his points and rebounds. So his points line is at 9.5. He's cashed this in 4 straight games. This is what I'm talking about. Them role players be stepping up. So Derek Jones Jr., this is going to be a sweaty bet though, not going to lie. He only takes 7 shots per game and he plays almost 30 minutes a night. 7 shots. He shoots a very high percentage because he only takes wide open 3-pointers and he gets dunks. So look, this Dallas offense is clicking. It just comes down to, do you think Derek Jones is going to get the volume that he needs? He's shooting 42% from 3, which is pretty wild. Last 3 games, taking 3, 3, and 4 attempts. So Yeah, that could be a wave there for Derek Jones Jr. Um, if I think about Derek Jones Jr., the majority of points are spot up transition points, really. And I know that I guess the Clippers not necessarily great at defending the transition. If you run on them, so Dallas push the pace, someone like Derek Jones Jr. can get some buckets there. So his points prop not such a bad pick, to be honest. I honestly don't mind that. I just worry again. He's hit this in 4 straight. Can he make it 5? Is the only question in my mind. He'll get minutes for sure. One of the better defenders on this Mavericks team. His rebound prop, though, what do we got? 4.5 boards, 2 out of the 5 games, up and down like a yo-yo, just like his potential assists. So it really comes down to, does the person he defend take a lot of shots or not? So that I cannot tell you. All right, who else we got? PJ Washington, who's been somewhat underwhelming so far in this playoffs. I think the only memorable thing he did was get into that scuffle with Terrence Mann and Westbrook, right? Yeah, his points prop 10.5. He's cashed this in 2 out of the 5 games. So in the last 3 games, he's gone under. And what are we seeing in those games? Field goal attempts starting to come down. Field goal percentage also trending in the same direction. So I'd lean to the under here on PJ Washington based on those trends. I'm not going to bet it, but definitely leaning that way. So Derek Jones's decline aligns with PJ Washington's decline aligns with Derek Jones's incline in his points. Now having a look at his rebound prop, 5.5. PJ Washington's also gone under in that in 3 straight. So yeah, not liking what I'm seeing here for PJ. We then have, let's check out the Gaff, and then we'll get into Derek Lively. So Gafford and Lively doing quite well. Lob City getting a whole lot of dunks. What's Gafford's points line? 7.5. He's now cashed that in 2 out of his 5. So the last 3 games started to see regular minutes again. Field goal percentage has not been great for someone who shoots near the time, but he has been getting to the free throw line. So I'm not loving the points prop here for Gafford, even though the hit rate as of late has been okay. And looking at his rebounds prop, 5.5. It is plus money, but he's gone under in all games this series. So yeah, that's not the best. We then have Derek Lively. So Derek Lively, playing off the bench, but I think he scores more than Gafford. So his points line. So Gafford was at 7.5. Lively's also at 7.5. And Lively has cashed this in 3 straight games, 13, 8, and 12. So he does get very similar minutes to Gafford. Takes a similar number of shots, but Lively is dunking everything. His last 2 games, 100% from the field. Does get to the free throw line a little bit. So what we're basically looking for is for Derek Lively to make 4 dunks in this game, and he'll go over 7.5. In the 2 home, he basically started covering this line once the Dallas Mavericks went home. So yeah, I think, look, basically his hit rates, Derek Lively, why the hell not? He's shooting at such a high percentage. We need 4 dunks or layups, right? And he's shooting 72% from the field so far in this series. But in his last 3 games, what's this? 8, 12, 17. He's shot 15 out of his last 17 shots, right? So for something like this, he probably only needs 5 or 6 shots. Let's say 6 shots. Give him room for error here. If he can take 6 shots, that's a whole lot of dunks and putbacks, then Derek Lively can cover the 7.5 points. I don't hate it. You know what I'm saying? I do not hate it at all. His rebound props at 5.5. So he's even got a better rebound average than Daniel Gafford. He's covered this in 3 out of the 5 games. Last 2, he's gone over Mr. Lively. And looking at his potential rebounds, 12.4 rebound chances per game. So he's definitely getting more chances than Gafford as well in similar minutes. So he's doing quite well. I don't mind the rebound prop here for Derek Lively as well, because we know Luka's rebound chances are going down, and he was their number 1 rebounder this year. Luka's rebound chances are going down, which means others are going up. We know that Derek Jones Jr. out there playing defense. I think on Paul George, he's picking up a lot of the time. Kyrie's doing a lot of defense on James Harden, and Terrence Mann and PJ Washington. They swap Kyrie and PJ Washington. So that really leaves Derek Lively open, I guess, to get some rebound chances. So yeah, I think the rebounds could be a good look. We could look at points plus rebounds for Derek Lively, to be honest. Let's see what the hell's cooking over there. Points plus rebounds for Derek Lively, 13.5, and he's cashed this in 4 straight games. Now we're talking about language. So 14.2 is an average in the 5 games, but over the last 4, he has been cashing. He did cash in the 2 home games, but it is going to be tight. It is going to be a tight one. The line is not too bad. The last game was excellent, but it was a blowout win where he got a little bit more minutes than he normally would, but he has cashed this in as little as 15 minutes as well. So I don't hate it. That's what I'm going to say. I do not hate it. I think the points prop alone would probably be better because we just need to be 4 dunks. We're not worried about rebound chances and getting those boards. And, you know, what if it's a high-scoring game and there's not as many rebound chances available? You know what? I just talked myself out of it. Derek Lively points. I do like it a little bit more. But what if Derek Lively points doesn't work? What if there are no lobs? That's unlikely. I'm not too worried about that. Okay, Derek Lively points. Haven't talked myself out. Lastly, let's look at Maxi Kleber. Now, I'm not encouraging you to bet Maxi Kleber. He had an outstanding game in that last one. Chances are they don't allow that to happen again. Now, outlier again, doing what it does, pulling up the best hit rates. And his points, 5.5. He's cashed that in 4 out of 5 games so far in this series, which is pretty cool. Which means his points line, again, is probably at 3.5 or 4.5. Let me look at that. Points line, yep, it's at 4.5. And his 4.5, he's only cashed in 2 out of the 5 games. He had a massive game in that last one, 5 3-pointers, but he's usually good for just 1, right? So there it is. He's made 1 3-pointer in the prior 3. Points plus assists, yeah, that could be a good play. It's not going to be a fun play, to be honest. What's my man getting? He does get about 20 minutes, though. He'll get the minutes, but if he's sitting in the corner the whole time, you're kind of just hoping he gets the ball, and hopefully he shoots or gets the assist. So not a fun play to make there on Maxi Kleber, but I would lean to the over. So I've shared my thoughts, my feelings on a lot of the players that are playing in the upcoming slate. I don't have too many leans, so hopefully I can come up with 2 to 3 bets. But if you're looking for more bets or a different type of insight, I am telling you to check out the playerpropshop.com. I am telling you to check them out. Secretly, I've been betting on their MLB bets that they put up there, and you guys know this. I know nothing about MLB, and that's just been cashing for me. So check out the Player Prop Shop. You save more money when you get one of the bigger packages. You get 1 week free when you use Prop Shop as a discount code. The affiliate link for that is in the video description blocks below. Also, I encourage you guys to join my Discord. I don't plug the Discord very much at all, but I encourage you to join the Discord. I know a lot of you guys have been joining over time. We've been chopping it up real good. We even had a discussion around Nicholas Batum and his rebounds. We shared the rebound prop. We then got a little bit adventurous with it. I took his 3-pointers plus 7 rebounds. It was a plus $2,000. Put the winning slip up here, and that's something that came out of the conversation in the Discord. So if you are a Discord user, jump into ours. Let's talk about lines. Let's talk about bets. We can create some winners together. So I encourage you to check that out. Other than that, y'all be good. Let me know if you use Chalkboard or anything like that, or if you would use it, if I was to start promoting it. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to you live from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice on the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.